my name is Lori. My name is Rini, and I'd like to welcome you to Rini Beauty Creations. If this is the first time you've popped by to check out my channel, welcome. I do hope you like what you see. If you do, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing and sharing with your fellow crafters. If you've been to see me before and you're back, I'm so grateful that you are. And again, if you haven't already done so, it would mean the world to me if you subscribe to my channel and share with your fellow crafters. So for today's craft, we are decorating some jar candles, and I got some of the Dollarama. Some of them I already had, and I just melted wax to reuse them and added my scents. Now I'm not going to go into the actual candle making. I will do a video on that at some point, a tutorial on that. But for now, we're just concentrating on decorating the candles. If you've been following my channel at all, you'll know I love to take one thing and put several different spins on it. So we're doing a coffee can series of turning them into sort of gift buckets and doing them in all different types of ways for boys, girls, all different tastes, and I love doing that, and that's sort of what this candle one is as well. So just doing them in several different ways and making them appropriate for all kinds of people, all kinds of styles. So it's really fun. So let me stop yakking at you and let's get on with the crafting. Okay, so for today's craft, we are going to dress up some of these candles. You can buy these at Dollarama, you can buy them pretty much anywhere, or you can, if you had a bunch of empty ones like I did, just melt and pour your own using just like pillar candles or whatever from the Dollarama, Dollar Tree, whatever. So I will do a tutorial sometime on candle making, but for now, just if you've already got that down, great. If not, just use the ones you buy, whatever works. You can also use mason jars. They don't have to be this tight necessarily. The other thing you're going to need is Mod Podge, some water. You're going to need your scissors, of course, and then you're going to need tights. So these are just little girls' tights. Again, got them at Dollarama. I also got these ones actually from the Halloween section. You can use, these are just leg warmers, again from Dollarama. So it's easiest if you have something with a sleeve. You can do it with just regular fabric, but it is just like super easy and super inexpensive with the tights. So the first thing we're going to do, we'll pick our candle here. And I'm just going to start by cutting the foot off. Scissors apparently need sharpening. There we go. We won't need that part. So then you're going to take your candle and slide your tights over top of it. Just like that. And then, of course, we're going to cut bottom off. So I'm just gonna make a cut, and actually I'm just gonna make sure she's pretty straight and we're not all curvy. Yep, that's good. So I'm just gonna cut the bottom off. Once I've got that little bit of a cut, then I can pull it off and just make it straight across. These are great gifts for Christmas, for, I don't know, any occasion. They're awesome gifts. So now we're going to take our little sleeve, and we're going to take some of our Mod Podge. You're going to want to wear gloves. This is messy. just going to pour some in. Actually, I'm going to pour the water first. I think it'll just be a little bit easier. Just a little bit of water, and I can always add more if I feel like I need it. You can use white like school glue as well. I would say if you're doing that, you're going to either want white tights. You don't want to go with the black because not all of them dry completely clear. So either do that or use the clear school glue. I assume that would work. I haven't tried that method, but I assume that the clear school glue would do the same thing. But just be aware you might not get, it might not dry completely clear if you're using a color. So I'm just going to mix that up in there. Now because I'm going to do a few, I'm going to actually add a bit more here. If I was just doing the one, that would probably be plenty. But as I'm doing a bunch, I'm just going to add a bit more. And just till it's like a real watery sort of consistency. Now, as long as you're not using the, what am I trying to say, dishwasher safe Mod Podge, if you get some of the concoction on the glass, you can wipe it off when it's dry. If you're going with the dishwasher safe Mod Podge, that's a little more difficult. So we're just going to keep dipping this in and wringing it out. And I am going to need some more until it's like you don't want any dry spots. I think that's feeling. I'll give her one more just to be sure. I'm just gonna wipe my hands off right on it, and then we're gonna do the same thing again. We're just gonna slide it over our candle. Because of the pattern, we want to make sure we've got it all straight. And now we have to wait and be patient and let it dry, because this is not something you can put in the oven to hurry, obviously being a candle. So I'm just going to set that aside. It's going to need to dry for several hours, probably even overnight. And then we'll put the finishing touches on after. Now, just because I can see it, I'm going to give it a quick wipe around the top and bottom. Like I said, if once it's dry, you notice you got some in places you didn't want, not a big deal. You can just wipe that off as long as, like I said, you're not working with the dishwasher safe. So we'll set that aside until tomorrow, make sure it's good and dry, and then we'll do our final touches on it. Alright, so for the next one, this is going to be for a friend actually. These are mostly gifts, and she's my bee girl. So I got these tights in the Halloween section at the Dollarama. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let it dry. And I do have these other tights, just a different pattern. They just had a bit of a different thing on there. So I'm going to do the same thing. So as I was working away, I decided I didn't want the real white. So my first thought was to tea stain the tights. And then I thought, why don't I just add a smidge of paint to my Mod Podge concoction and do it all in one step instead of having to wait. So this is just espresso. I'm going to put very little. I just want it to be just not quite so bright white. So I'm going to put the smallest amount and just see how that works. candles are all Mod Podge, they're all hard. We're going to start with the bee one. And I just got some different ribbon. I got a label, some stickers, and we're just going to make it really cute. Oh, and I have these bees as well. Okay, so I'm going to start by cleaning up the edge, and I thought I'm going to use for sure this one with the little hearts on it, but I might kind of want this if it's not too thick. Oops, it's not unravel the whole thing. Now all of this, the ribbon, the stickers, all came from the Dollarama. There is our finished bee candle. How cute is that? I absolutely love the way this turned out. Love the bees. I just love that whole motif. And the person this is for, I know, loves bees too. So I hope you like this one. And then on the next one, I'm just going to get some different supplies and I'll give you a whole other twist on the candle. Okay, so for our next one, again, we're going to start with hiding the edge. And to do that, I've just got this sort of beige lace that kind of goes with it okay, and that'll hide it very nicely for us. So let's again just find the side we want to be the front, which I guess doesn't matter a whole bunch on this one. Trying to do this without burning myself, which happens rarely. I think I burn myself in every single video or craft where I'm using the hot glue. And this one I am going to kind of put a fair amount of glue. I just find sometimes with the lace it likes to come off a bit. So I'm kind of going to go all the way around, at least on this bit. Doesn't have to be a lot of glue, just kind of enough to hold it in place. Alright, and this one I kind of want to have some fall colors. So I've got this wool that I really like, and I'm just simply going to wrap it around and around and around until I get a thickness. I kind of want it to look a bit like a scarf. Now I could crochet one, but I'm not that great at crocheting and I don't keep it very even. I'm still working on that particular thing. But I think if I go around it enough times, it'll still give me the effect I'm looking for, and then I am going to incorporate some of these fall leaves in this as well. So And now while that's sort of finishing up there, I'm gonna take I want it to hang, so I'm gonna wrap it around my fingers. There. I'm gonna take another little piece and use it to tie my loops. Now, there's a method to my madness, so. There. And we'll hide that knot after, so I'm not worried about that. Then I'm going to cut my loops so they're just strands, just like so. Now on every fruit, I've got these beautiful, not those ones are too big, those guys. And I thought, how pretty would they be hanging off of it? So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna put some glue on the ends. And add my leaves. So I decided when I stand them up, I can still see the red candle through, which is okay, but I really am going for a more opaque look. So I'm going to give it a coat of white paint, just to make it that little bit more, I don't know, yeah, just so you can't see the red candle through as much. Okay, so on to our next candle. So this is the brown one that's obviously all frozen, and all I did, I just took my scissors around the edge and cleaned up any little jagged edges or anything. Again, for my house, the fall colors work really, really well. So I do like the sort of scarf look, but this time I'm going to do several strands, but just not, I'm gonna cut them first and then wrap them. So I just need a size here. And that's our guy all done. Now I'm thinking I might want to add just a row along the bottom just to clean up that bottom edge, pull some of the colors together. So okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I was undecided, but now that I've looked at it, I think I do want to do that. So I did do the two, and I do love the colors and the way this one turned out as well. So now we're on to the white one. So the white one, again, just going to do a little trim along the bottom just for any of those edges. Alright, so it's mostly dry, not all dry, but that's okay for this stuff. So I just want to give it some glitter. We're going to kind of make it a frosty winter type candle, I guess. So I'm just going to take some Mod Podge, but I'm going to be very light-handed because I don't want to completely cover it. I just want it here and there. So I'm just lightly going to add some Mod Podge. Got this glitter, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on. Roll it off, and more will fall off, which is good. That's what I'm kind of wanting, just a hint of it. Little deers for my other one. And I'm just going to continue to go around doing that. That's what we should be left with, something that looks a bit like that. So I'm just going to set it aside for this layer to dry now. Alright, so the sparkles and everything is all dry, so I just wrapped some of this sort of teal blue wool around it, again to give it that sort of wintry scarf look. I'll probably do the same to the bottom, but I'll do that closer to the end. I've got this with a bit of sparkle, so I'm just going to add a little bow, give it a little sparkle to it. I'm just going to do just a regular old shoelace bow, I think. Oh, I'm trying to get my sparkle side out here. There we go. And I will use a little touch of glue just to keep everything in place. There. And don't worry about these tails. We are going to trim them down, but I am going to do something to them before that, so I just want to leave them until I know what length I'm going to want. So in the middle, because this one's kind of that frosty feeling, I've got this snowflake. It's like puffy. I got it from the Dollar Tree. I just love these. So I'm going to put that in the center. Just using some hot glue. And that should stick just fine for this. And one thing I didn't show on camera, but I strongly suggest, when you put sparkles on anything like this, just take some hairspray once it's all dry and spray it on, and it makes a huge difference on not having so many sparkles be falling off. And you can see they were, you know, already coming off, which they do, and they'll still come off a little bit, but it makes a huge difference on just how much they come off. Now I had some of these. I was looking for my teal ones, but I can only find the one, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, because I think these blue ones are just not quite, well, they're not bad with the blue. We'll see. But I am going to do something to sort of bring the rustic part of that out, sort of the brown wood kind of look. So I picked up these at the Dollarama or the Canadian Dollar Store, I'm not sure which one it was now, with the little wood cutout snowflakes, and I think they're just beautiful. I absolutely love them. And I'm not even going to paint, I'm not doing anything to them, because I think they'll add to that the rustic-y looking snowflake there. So I'm going to just put a couple on the ends of our strings and our ribbon. So I am going to hot glue that ribbon in place first, just so it's not slipping and sliding while I figure out how long I want my ends. And the weight of those will help my tails hang where I want them as well. That's sort of what we're left with. When we're done, I am going to wrap some more of this just around the bottom, just to clean up that bottom, and I will clean up that paint and whatever. So when I do the bottom, I will use a little more glue just to keep it in place. Starting at the back here. And you don't have to glue, you know, the whole way, but you do want to glue enough that it stays where you kind of want it to be. And I lost my end. There it is. So this candle, I just glued on this winter ribbon. I got it at Michael's on clearance last Christmas. And my original idea was gonna to do the scarf, but I wasn't feeling it. It didn't work for me. So plan B, which happens a lot. I got this red tissue paper. So I'm gonna Mod Podge the tissue paper on, and then I'm gonna embellish it a little bit. So we'll start with this. It does have some sparkle in it, which is fine with me. I may, if the color, sometimes the color looks great until it dries with the Mod Podge and then it doesn't work anymore. If that's the case, I will give it a coat of paint after. But acrylic paints don't really like to stick to glass unless you get the multi-surface. So this is another trick of doing it. But I'm hoping the color, once it dries, it still works and I'm still happy with it. So nothing fancy about doing the Mod Podging on. I have Mod Podged on other candles before. They're fine. Nothing happens when you burn the candle. It works just fine. So there they are, all done. The bee one, with the sunflowers, which I just love, and then the fall, and then the frosty one coming up here too. And I'm just really pleased with the way they turned out, and there's just no end of ideas you can do with these. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.